maybe I'll make a video for you and put it out there about these announcements, and then you can see the other part of the video that Dale's going to talk about here in a minute. But man, things are absolutely rocking. You guys are on fire. Sorry about my voice. I'm fighting a cold this week, but pretty much over it. We'll get through that. But yeah, I mean, numbers are rocking. October is definitely here. You guys know the stories, the statistics, the numbers that we see in September, October, November, and it's definitely happening again this year. We've got a lot of momentum right now, a lot of new customers coming on board, a lot of new distributors joining every single day, and we love that. It's awesome. That's what we want. That's what we want to continue to see, and the momentum is definitely going that direction. As you know from the last event a few months ago in September, last month actually, we rolled out our brand new product, E3. I'm sitting here drinking some right now. This product is awesome. Our new brochures are done. They're designed. They'll be available in the Skinny Body Care store probably this week, and they're also going in the new distributor kits. Now, speaking of distributor kits, we've redesigned a lot of parts of it, including the flip chart, including the brochure with all the products in it. We're adding the E3 brochures that are going in there. A few other changes to that kit is along with the audio. So the new kit, we're actually almost out of distributor kits. So a lot of the international ones have not been shipping in the last week or two. We should be all caught up about the second week of November. So I apologize for all of you who have joined who have not gotten your kit yet, and I apologize to all of you guys who are signing up new distributors who have to wait for their kits, but the new kits are awesome, even cooler and more powerful than the original ones. And again, November 12th is when the new folders and everything are getting in from some of the shippers and printers. So that's when everything will be caught up. And then there will be no more delays. We ordered 100,000 kits. So until you guys enroll 100,000 people, and we'll make sure that we don't run out, but we'll be good to go. That said, big event coming up in January. And I want you guys to, a couple other announcements real quick that I've written down. We've got a lot of new customer stuff coming out. Our Italian and French landing pages with the videos completely translated in those languages are now live. I believe they're in your My Website address. So if you know people in a French-speaking country or an Italian-speaking country, if there is one outside of Italy, you can now have them go to that page and they could use it to build in their local market. So that's another cool thing. A couple other things will come up as we're talking, but this event, guys, is going to be huge. We've sold a lot of tickets already. We're already over 300 tickets sold, and we've still got 3 months to go until this event. And with all the new momentum coming in, it's going to be packed. So it's going to be our biggest event yet, which is very, very exciting. But it's an event that you guys don't want to miss. And this is really to get those of you who have already purchased your ticket even more excited about going to the event, and to get those of you who have not yet made that commitment or made that decision, more of a reason, actually several more reasons to get your ticket, to get your trip booked, and to make it happen, because this event is going to be probably definitely the most powerful in the Skinny Body Care history, but I believe one of the most powerful events this industry has ever seen. It doesn't happen often that a company gets to celebrate its 6-year anniversary, period, much less do it at a national convention, an international convention, in one of the most beautiful places in the world, celebrating with all of the people who have made it happen, who are the reason that we get to have that 6-year birthday celebration. So if that's not reason enough, guys, it's a big one. You know, again, our 6-year birthday, most companies don't even last 1 year. Over 98% of companies fail before they're even 2 years old. So the fact that we've made it well past that now, moving into our 7th year in business, is a huge milestone. And if you look at some of the biggest companies in this industry. It was that 7th year where they really went from solid and legit and proven to giant, to huge, to the huge breakthrough that really, more than put them on the map. And I'm not afraid to say it, we're not on the map right now. And that's an exciting place to be, because with all the growth and momentum we've seen, we've done over $100 million in volume our first almost 6 years now, and very few people even know about us. We're not on the map. Nobody knows who we are. Nobody knows about the powerful products that we have, the life-changing testimonials that are coming in, the results that people are getting from these products every single day. They don't know about this compensation plan that pays out more than any other company in the industry. They don't know we have more tools, systems, trainings, resources, just total awesomeness than any other company out there in the industry. People are starting to hear. The buzz is starting to get out. They're starting to find out about it, but they don't know yet. And I believe that really moving into this 7th year is really going to put us on the map, and is where we're going to see that huge growth curve. But the biggest thing and the biggest reason that you need to be at this event, guys, events change lives. And you could talk to any successful, solid, long-term, full-time, 6-figure earner in the network marketing industry, and they will tell you the same thing. You need to be at events. That's what is the glue to this company, to this industry. That's what builds the belief in the company. That's what gives you the opportunity to see what this company is all about, to meet the people behind the company, to see that they're real, to see people getting up on stage and making everybody in the audience cry when they hear their testimonials. Guys, that can't happen over the phone. That can't happen on a webinar. That doesn't happen in local meetings or anywhere else. And as much belief as you think you have right now, as much as you believe that Skinny Body Care is in you and is part of you, when you get to that event and you get to experience it with us and with like-minded people who share that vision all over the world, and that passion and that enthusiasm and that love, guys, it takes it to a whole nother level. Take a sip of my E3 here. Stuff is so good, and it is so just, don't you guys feel awesome when you take E3? I drink it, I probably drink like 3 or 4 scoops a day. I drink it before I go to the gym, when I get back from the gym, and then I'll have usually one in the afternoon, and then one, I coach both of my kids' soccer teams, so I usually take one before soccer practice just so I have energy to deal with a bunch of crazy kids that I'll just want to run around. But guys, get to the event. Now, as if that stuff weren't enough, here are some more valuable things. And I know, let me take a step back. I know we've had a few, and a lot of you guys have not complained at all. A lot of you guys are very excited about the venue of this event, as you should be. I mean, anytime you have an opportunity to get out of the cold, out of the ugly snow and just freezingness, not that every place in the world is ugly, but to come to one of those beautiful places in the world where it's still 80 degrees when the rest of the world is freezing, and enjoy the beach, get into the water without having to wear a wetsuit because the water is still almost 80 degrees, and be able to just have a vacation where you can learn and experience and meet new people. Awesome. I mean, that's just another reason. Florida in the winter, there's a reason that the population in Florida doubles in the winter, because everyone wants to be here. It's the most, it really is a beautiful place in the winter, and a great place to come. The weather is perfect, and there's so much to do. If you want to make a whole vacation out of it, escape the cold for a few extra days, Disney's just 2 hours away. You can go to the beach. You can go down to Miami. It's about an hour and a half away, probably less than that. Just so much stuff to do here in Florida. You can go on a, what do you call it, an airboat ride and see the alligators down there. You can just enjoy the sun at the beach, go to the pool, whatever you want to do. So the reason, there's a lot of reasons Florida's awesome, but the reason we picked this venue is because of that. We wanted to give people an exciting place to come in the wintertime, and because Florida is such a huge attraction in the winter, and because we're going to have such a huge event, we expect at least 700 or 800 people at this event. There's not a lot of venues or locations in this area that can hold all of our people and host an event with that many people. So there weren't a lot of options. We were very lucky, very fortunate. I'm very excited that thanks to Stephen, really Steve and Susan Barron, Susan especially, who has put a lot of work into finding a venue and put this whole deal together. This event is being held at the PGA Resort. Guys, this is a very exclusive resort, and I know a lot of you guys are super stoked, super pumped to be able to get there, but I also know a lot of you guys are a little concerned that it's a little bit higher priced than you would like it to be. So I want to give you a few, put a few things in perspective, and then tell you some of the other reasons that you need to be there. Because first of all, there are other hotels that you can stay at around the hotel that are cheaper. You can probably get them for half of what you could get this venue for. But let me tell you about what you're going to get if you do stay at this hotel, because we want as many people at this hotel as possible. I know the hotel people want as many of us at the hotel as possible, and so they're doing a lot of extra things, especially for us, to make it work for you guys, to attract you, to show you that they really want us there. And so first of all, just the deal alone, rooms are $239 a night. The normal rate for the winter time at this event, and you could go straight to their website and see, is $319 a night. So you're getting $80 off a night at one of the most exclusive resorts in the entire country, in the entire world. That is really a rare opportunity for you guys to take advantage of that. So yeah, it's a little bit more expensive. Sell a few more bottles of Skinny Body Max. Sell a few more bottles of E3, Hibernate, Instant Youth, Ageless, Skinny Fiber, all of our amazing products, and make it work. Find 2 or 3 friends to share a room with. But guys, to be able to get into PGA Resort for $239 a night is a ridiculous price, especially in the wintertime. So I know it's more than some people want to spend, but guys, don't miss out on that opportunity, because opportunities to stay at 5-star resorts like this for that price don't happen often. And again, thanks to Susan Barron for arranging that deal, and thanks to the PGA Resort staff for making it happen for us. On top of that, the people who do stay at the hotel are going to get some other perks and benefits that people who are not staying at the hotel will not receive. Some of those things are, and this is a really fun one. I think it's Saturday night, but it could be Friday night. I'll have to check. You'll get to play what they call glow golf. You don't have to be a golfer. It's really putt-putt golf or mini golf on their giant putting green. They set up a course. It's all lit. It's all glowy. It is really, really cool. We're going to put up some pictures so you guys can see it. And it's really just a fun icebreaker event, a fun time to hang out with other Skinny Body Care people, a bonding time, a time to have fun, let loose, just enjoy being there at the event with other amazing people just like you. Whether you want to play golf or not, you don't have to be awesome. I suck, but it's going to be fun. I'm going to get out there and try to beat you guys. And hopefully you try to beat me too, because I like competition. So that's going to be fun. It's called Glow Golf. On top of that, they've agreed to throw in breakfast, free breakfast for anyone who stays in the hotel. You guys are going to get a voucher for Saturday morning. You're going to get a full breakfast paid for by the hotel. We're also working on a lunch deal, so you're going to get a lunch voucher. It's not going to be the full lunch. It'll probably be like $5 for a full buffet lunch for people who are staying at the hotel, and it's going to be probably, I think, like 15 or 20, maybe more than that for people who are not staying at the hotel. So they really want you guys to stay there. They're really going all out to show you how much they want us there. So guys, I'd love to see you at the hotel. It's just more time that we get to spend together, and it's just a beautiful resort. They've got beautiful pools. If you like to golf, you can do that. If you want to go to get a massage or something like that, you can do that as well. But really, just hang out with the Skinny Body Care family, hang out at the pool, go to the hot tub, go to the spa, whatever you want to do, and be there. But so that's just reasons to stay at the hotel. But either way, if you want to stay somewhere else, that's fine too. We want you at the event. And here are some other things that we have arranged at this event that are going to be awesome as well. First of all, Todd Falcone. For those of you who have never seen Todd Falcone speak, he's one of the most sought-after trainers in the entire network marketing industry. The guy is hardcore. He will teach you stuff. He will push you. He will help take your business to the next level. He's speaking probably for 2 one-hour sessions on Saturday. You guys do not want to miss Todd Falcone. We had to book him way in advance, and I've been chasing this guy for really since the last 2 conventions, and he's always been booked. We got lucky this time that he had the date available on January 21st to be at our event to speak for us. And guys, just another reason, if you haven't seen Todd live, you got to be there. The guy rocks. What else do we have? We've got some awesome stuff on Friday. We're going to structure it similar to how we structured the event in Nashville. For those of you who were there, the feedback was absolutely awesome. Talk to anyone that went to that event. Everyone loved it. So Friday we're going to have some kind of icebreaker game session or something when we get there. Then we're going to have breakout sessions, speakers, training. We're going to talk about creating wealth. Because one thing that really differentiates this company, guys, and if you haven't listened to anything I've said so far, turn on your ears right now. One thing that really separates this company from any other company out there in the industry is that this is not just another network marketing company. This is not just another opportunity, not just another MLM where you can make some money and then go to the next one. This is what we want to be a home. We want this to be the last company you ever have to be involved in. We want this to be the company that you can retire with. And that goes far, far beyond just the income that you make in Skinny Body Care. We want that residual income to continue for years and years and years. But on top of that, we want to teach you how to invest that money, because you're not truly wealthy until your money is making you money. And as long as you're working your business and making money, that's you working for the money. And that's still a very positive thing. And you can make more money here than probably any other company in the industry, especially with the compensation plan that we have. But we're going to teach you guys, and there's going to be a breakout session on Friday talking about how important it is to save, how to invest, how to get your money working for you so it's making you money so that you can ultimately retire with this company, walk away, create that financial independence, and not have to worry about going and jumping to the next shiny deal ever again. So that's one of the things that we're talking about on Friday. You're also going to get some amazing training from some of the top leaders in this company. We're going to actually ask you guys and our leadership council team for some feedback, what kind of topics you guys want to hear about, you guys want to learn about. We're going to put a lot of those things in. Same thing with Saturday. Saturday is going to be the most powerful day of training, awesomeness, inspiration, excitement, total power that you will ever experience in your life. I promise you. It is going to be a day you do not want to miss, a day that this industry really will, I believe, will change this industry because of what we're announcing, what we're doing, the training that you're learning, everything that we're doing on that day to celebrate our 6-year birthday, our 6-year anniversary, moving into our 7th year in business, where it is just going to go to a whole nother level. Guys, we've done a lot of exciting, powerful things that most companies never do in this industry just in our first few years. And now it's time to step it up another notch. So that's an event you don't want to miss. After that event, Saturday night is really a celebration. And everyone who comes to the event, this is all included. It doesn't cost extra. You don't have to pay for it. We're doing a full-on, just awesome dinner, like 3-course meal, award ceremony. A lot of you guys, almost everyone is going to walk out of there with some kind of award, whether it's a certificate, whether it's rank achievement medals. Even if you've just achieved the rank of bronze or silver or gold, you're going to go out of there with a medal. We're giving out a lot of trophies and awards for leadership, for inspiration, for rising star, people who are just getting started but really showing that they're on track to be big. We've also got our annual 5 Eagle Awards that we give out to people who have really gone above and beyond. Doesn't have to be the top earners in the company, just people who have stepped up, helped other people, shown that they are really, just they embody what this company is all about. So that's going to be awesome as well. And then Sunday is, as if the value weren't there enough, what you're about to hear from Dale that we've put together for Sunday is going to be awesome. So I'm going to turn it over to him here in a second. Last but not least, we've also actually printed out a list here somewhere. Where's my list? A couple conventions ago in Dallas, we did another, here's my list, another just kind of benefit, just reason to come to the event. And that was, one of the things that Dale, a lot of you guys know Dale Calvert, a lot of you guys saw him at the Nashville event. I mean, this guy has done some of the best training that really the industry has ever seen, specifically for our company. And one thing that I love about Dale, and you guys have heard me say this before, is that he's not a guy that just teaches you stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people in the network marketing industry and people who call themselves life coaches and personal trainers and success coaches who have never actually done the things that they're trying to train other people to do. And that just gets to me a lot. Dale is a guy who's been there, who's done that, who's led by example, who's built big, huge organizations in this industry, who's been in the trenches, who started from nothing and built up significant organizations in the network marketing industry doing exactly what he's teaching you to do. Nothing that he's teaching you is stuff that he hasn't done himself and that still works today, and he's taken into account new technology, worked that in, knows exactly what to do and the things that can help you guys build. So he's going to be at the event as well for a special thing. But one thing that he taught us a few events ago that was just amazing, but very few people took advantage of, was press releases. You guys, I mean, there are so many tools out there that you can do, and no one in the industry has ever done every single thing to build their business. But if you guys master 3, 4, 5 different things, you really can take your business to the next level. But one thing that Dale talked about was press releases. If you guys take some pictures with me, the CEO of the company, giving you an award, some of the top leaders in the company, you can submit those to local papers. We've even got the article written for you on Dale's training site specifically for SBC. You can put that into any paper at any time, and a lot of them are going to print it. But one thing that we did to take it a step beyond was for anyone who attended the Dallas event, we actually submitted those for you. So we hired a PR team, called all of you guys, got your pictures with you, wrote up the press release, submitted it to the newspapers, and we've already gotten about 10 of them published. And some of you guys don't even know this. I'm going to just read through this list of people who either have been published or are on the schedule to be published in the next few weeks. And we're going to get copies of all of these and send out to all you guys so you can see what it's all about. But we're doing the same thing for everyone who comes to the Florida event. Whether it's 800 people, 1,000 people, whatever, we're going to do everything we can to get you guys published in your local newspaper, to make you a local celebrity, which is going to build your credibility with your current customers, your future customers, your local market, and just really give you more power in building your team. So that's a cool thing. You know, obviously not every single one is going to get published. Really depends on the newspaper. Some of them are very open and willing to do it. Some of them takes a few calls to follow up, and we're doing everything we can to get as many published as possible. But here's a list of ones we know have gotten published, and there's probably several more that just threw the article in the paper that didn't even tell us, just because we submitted to them ready to go. It's like, here's the article, here's the picture, put it in your paper. Local newspapers are always looking for stories. So Hassan Bowers, I don't know if you even know, you got published in the Washington Post. Dara Anda, the Cape Codder, is publishing your article. I don't know if they already have or not. It's same with the rest of these people. Laura Hauk in the Fannin Sentinel. Mario Souza in the Gilroy Dispatch. Pat Adolph in the Morning Sun. Veronica Hunter in Clayton News Daily. Valerie Villanueva in the McNair Country News. Layla Pippin in Shreveport Times. So all these ones are ones that we know are getting published or have gotten published, and a lot more will. Come to the event in Florida. We're going to try to do the same thing for you guys. Just another reason, another benefit to do that. Now, last but not least, as I turn it over to Dale, I know I've taken more of this webinar than he wanted me to, but I really want to emphasize just how exciting and powerful this event, and really how don't miss, however you want to say that, this event is going to be. You guys really need to be there if you're serious about making this your home, the last company you want to be involved in. This is the event you want to be at. Regardless of all that other stuff, here's a $1,000 reason to get to this event. So Dale and I, have become good friends in this industry thanks to his just amazing job he's done for us as far as his training that he's brought, helped so many of you guys in this company, and that helps the company, and that helps more of you guys in the company, and that's what we want. And one thing that we talked about a few weeks ago was, he's next year in 2017, he's starting a live training, a live actual training that he's charging $997 for, and he's going to do 2 or 3 events throughout the year in different venues. We talked, I don't know how, I'm so thankful for our relationship that he's willing to do this for us, and we were able to come up with something that worked for both of us. But this is more than just a regular training. This is more than just, how to build your business, nuts and bolts. This is entire mindset. This is getting focused. This is just changing the settings in your mind. And he's going to talk about exactly what all that means and how it works to really not only help you build your skinny body care business, but it is going to help you in your relationships. It's going to help you with your self-confidence. It's going to help you with your self-esteem. It's going to help you with any entrepreneurial business, venture, whatever that you ever start for the rest of your life, and very realistically could change your life. And I can't wait to attend one of these events. But Dale has, thankfully for our relationship, he's going to put on a condensed version of this $997, this $1,000 event that he's going to be doing next year. It's $1,000 a seat. He's going to be doing that for you guys. You don't have, I'm taking care of all of it. So that's included for everyone who comes to the event. You guys are going to get the condensed version. Instead of a full day, it's going to be a 3-hour session on Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to noon. So schedule your flights to leave after like 2 p.m. so that you don't miss out on this training. As if Friday and Saturday weren't powerful enough, Sunday could very realistically change your life forever. So I'm going to let Dale talk about exactly what that means and what you guys are going to get on that Sunday. But I can't wait to see you at the event. Definitely book your ticket as soon as possible. We want to get just kind of more aware of how many people are coming so we can kind of negotiate more stuff with the hotel and get you guys even more powerful stuff that we've already been able to get. Thank you for everyone who's already booked. So it's going to be awesome. So with that, Dale, I'm going to let you take it. Sorry for taking so long. See you guys all there, and I'll make a video kind of reiterating this stuff so you guys can put it out there. Have an awesome day. We'll see you at the top. Dale, the call's yours.
Thank you, buddy. No problem. Guys, I appreciate the opportunity to be with you. I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I do want to talk about what we're going to be doing on Sunday the 22nd. You know, I need to get some of that E3. My gracious, Ben. It must be some awesome good stuff. But before I continue on here, I do need to say something that's important. You know, I'm sitting here and we have people from all over the United States, really all over the world, that are listening today. And I can say without question, I can look back over the last 35 years, there was 2 events that I could not afford to be at. We're literally piling people in the room, eating peanut butter and crackers and bologna out of a cooler for 3 days. That if I hadn't attended those events, I would not have the opportunity to speak with you guys this morning. And lives are changed at events. And you know, it might not be yours. But what if the event you don't attend was yours? So I'm going to briefly talk about a concept. I'm just going to walk you through this. This is not a formal training, but I do want to make sure that when we're done today, you have value from what I'm going to share with you.
Hey, Dale, real quick, you're a little bit quiet. Can you...
a little bit quiet? Is that better? How's that?
No.
That's not better?
Not better.
Okay.
No.
If you mute yourself out, would that help?
That's a little better, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's better?
Yeah, I did mute myself.
Okay. Thank you. So, guys, what I want to share with you, honestly, is the most important message that I will ever be able to share with any audience, period. It is the most important. It's really probably what I'm more passionate about than anything, but it's something people don't really like to hear too much about because it creates a spirit of accountability in people. But I'm just going to kind of walk you through this and let you know again what happened and what we're going to be doing on the Sunday after the 3rd day of the event. Many of you know, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but when I was 20 years old, I was working at IBM in Lexington, Kentucky. I had a terrible attitude. I didn't like that environment. I'm not psychologically employable. They sent me to the basement. They had an employee awareness program, they called it. And it was basically for people in all aspects of IBM, management and line workers and everybody that just needed an attitude adjustment. And so I had to go down there for a week, and I reported in, you know, the first Monday, and, you know, they show us film strip videos about IBM and Tom Watson and how thankful we should be to have a job at IBM and all this propaganda stuff, in my mind at least. And then we go have lunch, and we come back from lunch, and then the instructor pulls out a cassette tape series, and he says, we're going to listen to 1 hour of this cassette tape. And he pulls out a big boom box, and he pops in a tape, and it's some guy that sounded more country than me. And the first thing I heard was, you are where you are in your life because of what's gone into your mind, and the only way to change where you are is to change what goes into your mind. And that hit me like a ton of bricks, because when I really stopped and thought about it, and what had gone into my mind in the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years since I was a teenager, it's like, no wonder. And I'm not going to get into a lot of detail, but I just want you to know, when I was 20 years old, that statement from Zig Ziglar on that first audio absolutely jarred me. And when we had a break that afternoon, I went up to the instructor and I said, look, I need to borrow those audios. And he said, no, this is official IBM property. It's not allowed off IBM. I said, look, I have to borrow those audios. I'll bring them back to you tomorrow. I have to have them. No, this is officially IBM property. It's not allowed off IBM. And I looked at him and I said, look, I'm going to be here a week. You can either let me borrow them tonight, or they're going to be missing before the week's over. And he looked at me like, no wonder you're down here, young man. No wonder. And I finally convinced him if I put them in a sack, nobody could see them. I came back early the next day, put them back, he would let me borrow them for one night. I left there. I went to a box store. I bought 2 handheld cassette players. I bought packages of 3 99-cent audio cassettes. Some of you remember those. And the rest of I went back to back home, and for the rest of the night, I pushed play on one machine and record on the other. And yes, I illegally duplicated that set of tapes. And I got them back to IBM, and everything was fine. But I tell you that just to tell you that what I'm getting ready to share with you guys. I mean, I don't like to hear myself talk. I'm not talking to be talking. I'm talking because this is life altering. You know, the foundational truth of every success book ever written, I think it was originally in Proverbs, is a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As we think in our heart, so we are. It's the foundational truth of every self-help book that's ever been written. And guys, look, I know some of you are students. You like the magic of thinking big and psycho-cybernetics and personal growth and personal development. What I'm getting ready to share with you today is beyond that, I promise. Just hang with me. But the first thing we have to understand, it's the foundational truth of every self-help book ever written. As we think, so we are. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You are where you are in your life because what's gone into your mind, the only way to change where you are is to change what goes into your mind. Now, I have to stop and I had to ask myself after 3 years in the network marketing business model, I had to ask myself, Dale, do you really believe this? And I had the fortune to go hear a gentleman in Ohio, I think it was in Columbus, his name was Pat Worley, and he explained scientifically what's going on in our brain. And it really kind of helped me because it's helped me understand that, yes, we have a conscious mind, subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is running the show, but we think our conscious mind is. And as human beings, we have multiple belief channels, beliefs, paradigms, multiple belief patterns. And I'm not going to get into a lot of detail. I'm going to go quick today, but this is a very important concept that I promise you will be life-altering. And when we understand and accept the truth that our subconscious mind is our programming, that controls our actions, and our actions create our outcomes, good or bad. And as human beings, we must act in accordance to our program. And I like to tell the story about Clumsy Johnny. And, you know, Johnny signed up for Little League Baseball. He's nervous. He doesn't have a lot of experience. He's a young man. You know, he's never really played a lot before in the backyard or whatever, and he's really nervous. And he gets up to the plate for the very first time in an official Little League baseball game, and he puts his batting helmet on, and he gets ready to swing at the ball, and when he swings, his feet get tangled up, and he gets up, and he hears his mom in the stands saying, "That is the clumsiest kid in the world." And then a few weeks later, Billy's over playing with Johnny, and they can play anywhere in the house they want, but they're not allowed to go in the living room because that's where the nice furniture is, and that's where Grandma's antique vase. It was great-grandmother's antique vase, and it's cherished in the family, and kids are not allowed in the living room. You can go upstairs, down, go wherever you want, not in the living room. And Johnny has his friend Sam over, and Sam is kind of mischievous, and every time Sam's been over at the house in the past, Johnny said, we cannot go in that room, and Sam's not giving him any problems. But today, Sam jumps in the room and says, why can't we be in this room? Because it's disallowed. Mom says we cannot be in this room. And Sam, mischievous Sam, jumps in the room, jumps out. He's aggravating Johnny. Johnny's letting Sam get his goat. Sam goes over and sits on the sofa. Get off the sofa, Sam. We are not allowed in here. If Mom sees us, we're going to be in big trouble. You know, Johnny's keep telling him, no, no, we have to get out of here. And Sam won't get off the couch. So Johnny decides, I've got to pull him out of here. So he goes over and grabs Sam by the arm, and Johnny's pulling Sam out of the room, and Sam breaks away real quick and runs right into the coffee table with the antique vase, which falls on the floor, which shatters into pieces, which brings Mom in from the kitchen and saying, Johnny, you're the clumsiest kid in the world. How many times do I have to tell you you're not allowed in this room? Sam, you go home. Johnny, you go to your room, and you're not eating any supper tonight. A couple of weeks later, his dad's painting outside. Johnny's playing outside. He runs around the house. He doesn't realize his dad's moved where he was. He was on the other side of the house. Now he's on the side that Johnny's running around, not paying a whole lot of attention. And Johnny runs right into his dad's paint bucket. Paint goes everywhere, all over his dad, all over Johnny. His dad says, Johnny, you're the clumsiest kid in the world. I don't know what's wrong with you. Go upstairs, have your mom clean you up, and don't come out here until I'm finished painting the fence. And then the next year, Johnny goes to play Little League Baseball, and same thing happens. He swings, his feet get tangled up, he gets up, he brushes himself off, and he says, I am clumsy. And for the rest of his life, every time he does anything that any normal kid would do, or fall down, get back up, unawkward, uncoordinated as kids grow up, he continually tells himself, I'm clumsy, I'm clumsy, I'm clumsy, and Johnny will grow up to be a clumsy adult. We all have brain cell patterns. Now, guys, you have one of the greatest opportunities in the history of network marketing with SBC. There's no question about that. Track record's track record. You guys have heard the stories. You know the people's lives that have been changed with SBC. So we understand that. That's pretty clear. But I want to stop, and I want to drive home one more point, then I'm going to move forward very quickly. Back in the day, some of you remember the floppy disk that came in computers. And I remember the first computer I had, I could do a Word document, and then I had another disk that I had to put in the computer in order to do a spell check. Now today with Word, I mean, we have spell check, and we can do all that just from one program through Word, one piece of software. But back in the day, you had different floppy disks that would do every function of creating a document or any type of flyer or anything that you were doing online. So let's say that I wrote in a word processor, and I wrote my document. Now I want to have it check the spelling, and I would reach into my little box that had all my disk in it, and let's say the green disk was the spell check disk that I would put in, and I would hit a button and it would check the spelling, and I could make the corrections, and then I could print the document or do whatever I wanted to do with it. But let's say by accident I thought it was the yellow disk, and I wasn't sure, and I put the yellow disk in, but the yellow disk is to do math, like a calculator back in the day. And I put the yellow disk in instead of the green disk. Now, in 1,000 years, with that yellow disk in the computer, will it ever check the spelling if the yellow disk is designed to do math problems? Of course not. What if I bang on the computer a little bit? No, it's not going to check the spelling. What if I cuss at the computer? No. What if I take it to an SBC convention and get it fired up? Will it check the spelling? No. It's going to act in accordance to its program. Okay, That's the way computers work. That's the way our subconscious mind works. We must act in accordance to our programming as people, as human beings. That's the way it's set up, guys. Now, we can say, well, what about this? What about that? Or no. The reality, bottom line, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And know what? So as a woman thinketh. We must act in accordance to our programming. If you've been around this industry very long at all, you've heard this concept, this principle from countless number of books, articles, speakers, CDs, and trainings. I know you have. So I'm not sharing anything new today at all. Okay, I was exposed to it too my first 3 years, and I liked it, and I enjoyed it, and I read more about it, and I spent a little bit of time reading and listening to people that talked about this concept of subconscious mind, conscious mind. Excuse me. But here's what I realized at some point, and I believe everybody has to come to this realization. I believe that great students of personal development must come to this realization. Knowing is not the answer. Knowing about it is not the answer. And see, I felt smarter than my friends and relatives and coworkers because I was being exposed to wisdom of the ages from psycho-cybernetics and Think and Grow Rich and a lot of the other classics. I felt like many of you do that I had an advantage because I was getting plugged into information that they weren't getting plugged into. But here's the deal, guys. This is the realization that everybody has to come to at some point. Knowledge without action leads to self-delusion. Knowledge without action leads to self-delusion. Information alone does us no good at all if we don't put it into action. Understanding conscious mind, subconscious mind, self-talk, all this information, understanding it intellectually does us no good if we don't put it into action. Good intentions don't create profits. Just because you're a deserving, good, kind, thoughtful person does not mean that you have the what's the word I'm looking for? It does not entitle you to profits. So how we process information. Here's how most people do it. We have patterns for processing information. A lot of times we hear and we disagree. And if we hear and disagree, then we cannot benefit from anything that we hear and disagree from. And we should all disagree with a lot of things. If it doesn't line up to wisdom of the ages, we should definitely disagree. Some people hear, agree, and continue to do what they've always done the way they've always done it. I see that commonly with network marketers. They hear, they agree, because it's hard to argue with wisdom of the ages, but they continue to do what they've always done the way they've always done it because it's more comfortable. Some people hear, agree, and make immediate radical changes. It's fascinating to me when I see that happen in individuals. And then some people hear, agree, and make daily changes that lead to a totally new pattern and self-image. So that's how we process information as individuals. Okay, so how do we make change? There's only really two ways to make change, and one is radical change, and the other is daily changes that lead to a totally new pattern and self-image. Again, all of us, we are where we are in our life because of what's gone into our mind, and the only way to change where we are is to change what goes into our mind. We have brain cell patterns about everything. We have brain cell patterns about what kind of parent we are, what kind of grandparent we are, what kind of parent we were if you're a baby boomer. We have brain cell patterns about what kind of cook we are. I mean, I know that I can barely boil water, okay, but some of you are gourmet cooks. Okay, some of you are okay cooks, and some of you think that you're okay cooks, and you're really borderline gourmet. Okay, again, we have patterns in our mind about who we are, what we do, sometimes based upon reality, sometimes just based upon our own thoughts. We have realities and brain cell patterns about what kind of singer we are. Now, when I was young, I used to compete in country music contests with my parents years and years ago. I'm talking about when I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Okay, now I can't carry a tune in a bucket today. If you don't use it, you lose it. But again, guys, you name it, you have a brain cell pattern about it. That's really my point. Proof American Idol. If you've ever seen American Idol, you have seen kids come on that show knowing that they have the voice of an angel, that are horrific when they open their mouth and attempt to sing. You've seen that. I mean, they sincerely believe that they're awesome singers and they just need to find something else to do with their life. We've all seen it if you've ever seen an episode of American Idol. Okay, and again, we can go on and on about this, but again, as human beings, we see things not as they are, we see things as we are. We see things not as they are, we see things as we are, our programming. Proof, right now in the United States, we're going through a presidential election, which all of you are aware of. You can, everybody in the country can watch the exact same debate with the exact same people saying the exact same words, and then you go on social media afterward, and the perceptions of what they heard and saw, what we heard and saw, vary based upon who we are. We see things not as they are, we see things as we are. And again, the presidential debate and the comments on social media are proof of that. And I could really go down this road, but I won't. Let me keep moving. We have brain cell patterns about what kind of business mind we have, about what kind of driver we are, like in an automobile, you know, good driver, bad driver. We have brain cell patterns about what kind of friend we are, and the list goes on and on and on. And yes, even what kind of network marketing leader we are or we are not. And the scary thing is many times our thoughts have no relationship to facts. Our thoughts, the only facts are our thoughts. I mean, I've seen people that had tremendous upside potential, more than I ever even thought about having, that didn't see themselves from that perspective. I've had other people that were just beyond lousy that thought they were great. And we've all seen that in everybody. But the ability to recognize it in ourselves is something that's very difficult for most people. Now, positive patterns create actions. Actions create outcomes. Positive patterns create positive actions, which ultimately will create outcomes. Now, sometimes our desire, just the desire, creates the action, which will create a positive outcome. The example for me is I want to be the best grandparent in the world. I want to be a good son, a good son-in-law, an awesome husband, a great brother, a great brother-in-law. I want to give as much value I can to the people, my family in my life. I mean, that's a desire. That's a true desire. That's not just words. And the good part for Dale is all I have to do to accomplish that is to take action. The desire and action will create the outcome that I'm looking for. Now, with that said, I could have the desire when I was 21 years old to be the next Michael Jordan. I could have wanted that as bad as some of these people want to be the next American Idol. Okay, all the desire in the world was never going to create that. I could have the best brain cell patterns in the world about being the best next Michael Jordan, and it wasn't going to happen. Wasn't tall enough, wasn't athletic enough. It just wasn't going to happen. Okay, I mean, I love sports, love basketball, love participating in sports, but I was not going to be the next Michael Jordan. So what I'm saying is talent is a factor. Talent is a factor in some desires. I don't want to get too deep here, but I want to try to communicate this. So the other aspect of this is if you have systems and plans can create desired outcomes as well. So if you've got positive brain cell patterns about any subject, for some of those subjects, it just takes desire and you can accomplish it. For some, it takes obviously desire, but you have to have some talent or it ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Okay? And then for some, it just takes that desire and then systems, plans. Tony Robbins would call it modeling the success of other people. And, you know, so many of you have heard me say, be careful who you listen to, because make sure they've done what you want to do before you take too much advice from them. I always ask yourself, who is this person? Why should I be listening to them? That question would have saved me thousands of hours over my career. So systems and plans. Now, my point is, when I was involved in network marketing in the beginning, I came to the conclusion if other average people have done it, then I can do it. I just need to have the right systems and plans. I can't do it with the skill sets and the mindsets that I entered the network marketing industry with. Only about 3% of the population can do it with what they enter the industry with. For the rest of us, we're going to have to develop new skill sets and new mindsets, i.e. systems and plans. Now, a lot of this you've heard, and I'm going to share with you the thing that absolutely took it to a totally different level for me. After hearing, reading Psycho-Cybernetics, reading Think and Grow Rich, listening to Zig Ziglar nonstop, there was a specific time and place that I made the conscious decision to consciously and intentionally program my mind for success, to start creating the correct brain cell patterns. And see, some of you think, well, Dale, this sounds kind of woo-woo. You're getting out on a limb here. I don't know about this. Look, I'm not woo-woo, and I'm definitely not out on a limb. And I don't believe just because you think it's going to happen, or just because you have great desire, it's going to happen. But I do know that your activity creates courage, inactivity fear, and I know the reason most people cannot take activity, cannot get active, is because of their brain cell patterns. Because in network marketing is a business model that gives average people with above average desire and the right systems the opportunity to create generational wealth. It doesn't require special talent. There's not a person listening to me today that cannot achieve whatever they want to achieve in network marketing. And that's what, man, it just fires me up from that standpoint. because I'm a living example of it. I am a living example of it. Oh, I lost my. All right. This book, the gentleman I talked about earlier, his name was Pat Worley. He was actually a professor of psychology, and he talked about this book. So I went and bought it the day after I heard about it. Now, if you go try to find this book today, it's amazing to me. I tell people I've just made it so popular over the years that you can't even find it because it was only printed once or twice, and you can find it now on Amazon, but it's like $200. It's a little paperback book I paid $5.95 for, and then they never reprinted it, but that's beside the point. I just want to drive home to you why what I've said up to this point is something that I decided to take very, very serious after 3 years of being what I would describe a good personal development student. Why I took it to a whole different level, entirely different level, is because of this book. This is where I learned about this. Some of you may have heard this, but we really need to stop and think about this. Regarding conscious mind, subconscious mind, not letting stuff in our conscious mind through our conscious mind, not allowing negative brain cell patterns to be developed. Some of you have heard me talk about the cancel technique, but again, I'm not going to get into all that today. But this is important. The birth of subliminal advertising, as we know it, dates to 1957 when a market researcher named James Vicari inserted the words "eat popcorn and drink Coca-Cola" into a movie. This was in 1957. The words appeared for a single frame, long enough for the subconscious to pick it up, but too short for the viewer to even see it with their conscious mind. It just flashed in and out. You couldn't see it even with your conscious mind. We couldn't even see the words. It just flashed up real quick and it was gone. These subliminal ads created an 18.1% increase in Coke sales and a 57.8% increase in popcorn sales. Guys, that blew my mind when I first read it, because it's like our conscious mind is not controlling this. It's our subconscious mind. It's the programming that we operate with on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Now, I'm going to go through these quick. It's going to blow your mind if you've never heard me talk about this before, but it's true as it can be. Subliminal programming is commonly practiced today, commonly practiced by Madison Avenue advertisers for different brands. And the three primary motivators of human beings are money, death, and sex. Those are the three primary motivators. And Madison Avenue knows this. And I'm just going to share with you a couple quick examples. I could share with you thousands of examples, thousands, literally, because I've been a student of this since I first read the book Subliminal Seduction. It just fascinates me. But I could show you thousands of examples of big name, brand name companies that have used subliminal ads and are using subliminal ads today to motivate us to buy products or do whatever they want us to do. Example of doing whatever they want us to do or not do. A few years ago, probably 20 now, the term elevator music was very common. It was like all of a sudden when you would go into these big department stores, and you would have to go from floor to floor with an elevator. At one point, you would just get in and it'd be like an elevator ride today. But if you noticed, and some of you remember this, all of a sudden you had all this music playing in the elevators. Hence the term elevator music. In department stores, it's like we never had music before. And it was, but what was going on there? And the studies on this are just fascinating. But shoplifting was becoming such a major problem that there was a company created to put music in the elevators, and subconsciously there was messages in the music that would say things like, do not steal or you will be prosecuted. Do not steal or you will be prosecuted. And shoplifting, and these retailers that were using this, I don't remember the exact numbers, but drastically reduced the amount of shoplifting going on because they were using subliminal messages getting to the subconscious mind through elevator music. Do not steal, you'll be prosecuted. Again, I could go on and on, but let me give you some other examples. Money. This is a KFC snacker ad that ran on TV. It was also in the window poster of KFC restaurants. And when you blow it up, for the 99-cent snacker, what's that right there? That's a bill. That's money. Now, subconsciously, you don't see that. And so because see, here's what they're doing. Money, sex, death jars us a little bit, even if it's subconsciously. It jars us a little bit, and sometimes it will cause us to take action. Okay, and again, I just want to show you that it's actually being used today. And then we're going to continue on. Okay, I had this poster hanging up in my bedroom in the 70s. It sold 12 million posters. Some of you remember Farrah from Charlie's Angels. Now, look down. This is the poster actually, but if you look at this, look at the S right here, and if you just look, you can see it. There it is. There's an S. And then you see the E, and if you look right here is the E, and there's the X. The X is right there. And somebody said, Dale, that's a little far-fetched. I don't know about that. I'm kind of, that's skeptical. That just kind of, her hair just fell that way. Well, okay, that gives you the excuse, not like me or anybody else, the excuse not to accept the fact that our subconscious mind is critical in our decision-making and everything that we do. Let me just keep going. Now, it's hard to debunk this. I love Skittles. They're probably one of the worst candies you can have from a health standpoint because they're just sugar with artificial fruit flavors. Okay, but is this, I mean, look at this. S, look where the S is placed. Do you think that's coincidence? Really? Do you? I know it's not. Some of you remember when Heineken first hit the U.S. market, all my beer drinking friends, it's like all of a sudden they were all of them drinking Heineken. Some of you will relate to this. You will remember, I don't know the years, haven't done the research, but it's like, what's the attraction to, I mean, why all of a sudden Heineken is everywhere? It's on TV. Y'all have seen these commercials. You've seen the magazine ads. You've seen the picture that I'm showing you 1,000 times of Heineken in different ads. Our subconscious mind is really, really a fascinating thing. Watch how this can be manipulated and how it is manipulated in our minds without us even knowing it. Is that a bare bottom or is it a bare bottom? Now, at this point, some of you should be thinking, oh my gosh. It's everywhere, guys. I could give you thousands of examples. There's not hardly a liquor ad in a magazine that's not using this. This is a blown up of this particular ad that's run in magazines all over the country. You can see the skull right there. Skull and crossbones are the symbols of death. Tidy Bow used this in their TV commercials years ago when all the bubbles would go down the drain. It was when you blew them up, it was skull and crossbones is what the bubbles looked, all the bubbles looked like skull and crossbones. So again, when I discovered this book, my approach to personal development and my decision for self-education totally transformed. It totally changed. And again, up until that point, I just compared myself to the coworkers and the negative people that were around me every day. But I really decided to get serious about what goes into my mind and consciously, daily program my mind, because I understood, going back to that first words I ever heard out of Zig Ziglar's mouth, that there's a lot to this. We're where we are in our life because of what's gone into our mind. The only way to change where we are is change what goes into our mind. Every one of us is programmed. Everybody listening to me today is programmed. If I say make America great again, you know what that relates to. Make America great again. Okay, that's the slogan, right? Everybody knows that's Trump's slogan right now. If I say save money, live better, what am I talking about? Save money, live better. Everybody knows that's Walmart. It's been programmed into your mind. Flop, flop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Some of you know exactly what that product that relates to. You'll know for the rest of your life. It's programmed. It's Alka-Seltzer. Some of you remember Who Shot. You remember the old sitcom Dallas, and it was like Who Shot JR? Who Shot JR? That was the cliffhanger at the end of the year. There was T-shirts. Everybody was talking about Who Shot JR. Some of you remember the song by Eric Clapton, I shot the sheriff. The old commercial, where's the old lady? Remember the old gray-haired lady on TV? Where's the beef? Where's the beef? I'd walk a mile for some of you are older than I am. You remember this? I hadn't been on in 30 years. I'd walk a mile for a Camel, which was an old Camel cigarette commercial that was on TV and radio when I was a kid growing up. All of you will remember this or know what I'm talking about here. 15 minutes could save you 15%. Obviously, we're talking about Geico. All these things have been programmed into our mind. All of these and many, many more. Now, what if we program things like you can have anything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want? The only difference between a big shot and a little shot's a big shot's a little shot that kept shooting. What the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. When you have nothing to lose by trying and a great deal to gain if successful, by all means try. Do it now. And on and on and on and on. What if you had that type of stuff programmed in your mind? Would it make a difference in what kind of leader you are, what kind of parent you are, what kind of grandparent you are, and so on and so forth? So how are we programmed? We as individuals are programmed with books, CDs, people, and events. That's why events are so important. That's why you leave events so fired up. Why do you leave an event so fired up? It's why do you read a book and the book really fires you up? Why do you listen to a CD and it gets you fired up? Why are you around certain people and you get excited and energy? Why do events mean so much? Because books, CDs, people, events ultimately create self-talk. And self-talk is how we program our subconscious mind. So when I got serious about this years ago, after being involved in the network marketing industry for 3 years, I said, you know what, I'm going to put together a 15-minute-a-day program, and I'm going to do it every single day. And because I got serious about it, it's like I've heard too much. There's too much evidence. There's too many people talking about it, but I don't know how to implement it, so I have to put something together for myself. And it was the top 3 reasons converted to affirmations. The review of my top 20 reasons. This is what I did daily. Many of you heard me talk about top 3, top 20. I read My Perfect Day, which is a concept that came from the book Think and Grow Rich. I read it every day, My Perfect Day. And then I took 5 or 10 minutes and read one of the scrolls from The Greatest Secret in the World by Og Mandino. That's what I did. Made all the difference in the world. 10, 11, 12 years later, way down the road, because I would share concepts of all of this with different people at different times as we were building our organization. And some of the top people that I work with very closely, I would give them the whole program, tell them exactly what I did. Go buy this book, do this, go to The Magic of Thinking Big, read this, and put this together. Years down the road, I came out with this program called Programming Your Mind for Success. That was the original VHS audio cassette version. Later on, I came out with the CD DVD version, which is here. And this is something that we've taught over the years. I haven't pushed it real hard because, again, it's most people would rather blame somebody else than take responsibility and take action to make the necessary changes to create success. They'd rather find a gimmick or something easy, and I understand that. Everybody's looking for the foo-foo dust. But I do want to share a couple of testimonies, and these came, you know, I have thousands of testimonies on this and never tried to collect them. But I do just want to share a couple. This gentleman's actually a pastor in Georgia. He said, I thought I understand the truth. You become what you think about. That's the most significant things I can try to share with you, that statement right there, because I did too for 3 years. I thought I understood. I also thought I was putting this truth into practice on a daily basis. After listening to your Programming Your Mind for Success, it took my understanding of this truth to a new, higher level. But most of all, it showed me how to put this truth into practice on a daily basis. As I did, I immediately saw a change in my business. This is no doubt the most important training material I've ever purchased. And I'm not selling you anything, guys, other than we're going to take it to another level on the 22nd of January, another level. This is from another lady and her husband. For anyone looking at their breakthrough in network marketing, direct sales, or life in general, Dale Calvert's Reprogramming the Subconscious Mind course is the tool you need to succeed. After over a year of struggling in an industry, I bought this course from Dale, followed the simple 10-minute daily exercises, and now work at a totally different level. I moved up 2 pin levels within a few months of starting Dale's program 9 months ago, and so on and so forth. Guys, I'm telling, of all the things that I've ever done in my entire career, this is the most immediately impactful, even at the point that everything that I have ever put out there, if this is not right, if this part's not right, it's not going, your success is going to be limited. Some of you've heard Michael on our MLM Success podcast. After watching the Programming Your Mind for Success training that you did over 10 years ago, it changed everything for me. It inspired me to write a journal entry that changed my entire life, not to mention my business. 18 months ago, I had the realization. Since then, there have been thousands join my organization. My wife and I are financially free. It only came after the reprogramming process. This past weekend, I shared that journal entry with a crowd of almost 3,000 people. It was the best speech I've ever done. There were few dry eyes in the house. After all the adversity we've been through and the thousands of people that have quit, lied, and tried to bring us down in this industry, we finally made it to the top. It would have never have happened without you. Thanks again. Your warmest regards to your family, Michael Newkirk, number 3 money earner in his company. So about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I closed down 80% of my training sites. And I did that, and I wanted to focus on redoing one at a time. And Dawn and I have multiple things going on. We have 4 different businesses we operate. Network marketing support services, consulting training is part of that. So my primary focus was the training club, which I know some of you are members of. So we've got that almost November 1, that's done. And we'll have that redone. The next thing I wanted to do was Programming Your Mind, because over the last couple, 3, 4 years, I've realized how important this is and how needed it is everywhere. And so Programming Your Mind is the most important training I believe that I've ever done, period, for anybody. And again, not just for network marketers. And again, it was never designed as a training. It wasn't something I put together so I could sell. It was something that I did for myself. And then 10 or 11 years after the fact, put it together in a formal structure that I could share with my personal team, quite frankly. And then later on, made it available in DVD, CD that you saw. And everybody that the testimonies I just shared with you were not from people on my personal team. They were people in other companies. They, you know, Michael started with me years earlier, but he was not on my personal team when he was number 3 money earner in his company. So I thought about this over the last few months because I knew it was getting closer. And how can I introduce this to make the biggest impact for the most number of people? Because we all know that there's people that have bought the package and never went through the first activity. They bought the package, never went through the first activity to implement what was in the package. So I decided on live webinar, live workshop. I wanted to put together a live workshop where attendees will leave with everything they need to put the 15-minute-a-day program into action immediately as soon as they leave. And it's really a workshop. It's not even a training. It's a workshop with activities that you complete to put together your perfect day, and so on and so forth. And the fair market value is $997 for a full day's workshop. My plan is to do three of these a year and get it to a point really where, well, $997 is it's beyond cheap when you compare it to the value that it can provide. So the first ever live event for Programming Your Mind for Success workshop will be on January 22nd, 2017 in conjunction with the SBC National Convention. As Ben already told you guys, it will run from 9 to noon. You will leave this workshop with the opportunity to have everything you need in place to intentionally, consciously program your mind for success in all aspects of your life and maximize your God-given talents, skills, and abilities in every aspect of your life. Whatever your investment is to be at the event, and I'm talking about hotel if you stay a week, airfare if you're coming from Australia, every meal that you spend, everything, whatever your total investment is to be at the 3-day SBC event. I know that the 3 hours that I'm going to have with you, when you leave there and implement it, saying it's worth 10 times whatever your total investment is in the SBC event is one of the biggest understatements I could ever make. I'm telling you, I promise you from my soul, this has changed thousands of people's lives. They're better parents, they're better leaders, they're better people, they're better neighbors, because as human beings, we must act in accordance to our program. I see people all over this industry have really good intentions and lousy programming. The most important foundational training any entrepreneur-minded person can receive, and it's not because Dale says it or because Dale believes it. It has nothing to do with me. Nothing. It's based 100% on wisdom of the ages, principles, and documented facts. I want to share one other concept with you. Radical change. We talked about people change two ways, or we talked about the four ways people process information, and one is radical change. And I love to see radical change in people. And there's people that have had experiences like the firewalk. Some of you know about firewalks. And the courage and the ability to do the firewalk creates radical change in people. And I have friends of mine over the years that had radical change after they did the firewalk. And I'm just pulling firewalk out of the air, guys. I mean, there's a personal development expert that brings people and they have a tranche. What's that spider? I don't even know. The poisonous spider walk on their hands. And I mean, radical change is awesome. It's good. I believe in it. I believe in radical change. But I also know, based upon the people that I have seen over the years, unless it's backed up with a path of daily activities, it will diminish over time. That radical change will diminish if it's not backed up with daily activities. And we're talking 10 to 15 minutes a day. Then there's people that here agree and create daily activities that lead to a totally new pattern and self-image. That's what I'm going to share with you at the SBC of third day SBC, January 22nd. You're going to leave with a personalized set of daily activities and a 15-minute plan that I guarantee will impact your life in the most possible way known to man and help you maximize the natural talent, skills, and gifts that you already have, and if you do, and give you the path to make sure, if you have a true desire, not a token desire or something we want to talk about, but a true desire to make that come forth easily, naturally in your life without trying to make it happen, because it is what your program is. It's what your program is. It is who you are. It's not what you're trying to do, because you must act in accordance with your program. All right, Ben, if you're still on and you want to wrap it up, buddy, that's fine. I'm done. I can't wait to see people on the 22nd. I don't even know. You probably at soccer practice or something.
I'm still here.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, Dale. Awesome job. Guys, get to the event. We're throwing this in for you for free, $997 value for this course that Dale teaches, that you guys are going to get the condensed version for free. Leave there with action steps to really change your mind and change your life. So that's just one of the things, guys. You know, any of the stuff we talked about is more than enough reason to get there. But we can't wait to see you at that event in Florida. It's going to be awesome. Keep rocking. We've got some exciting announcements for November. And let's wrap up the month strong. You guys are awesome. We'll see you at the top. And that's all I got. Have an awesome day, guys. You rock.